Hi, I'm Jamie, and this is Scrutinize, a system designed to take information from a source code repository and present it in a way that allows project team members to learn about how the project is changing and who is making those changes. The interface of the tool is divided into 4 panels. The timeline is located here at the bottom, which shows the number of commits to the project source code repository over time. In this case, we are looking at 2 years of commits to an open source project source repository. Over this time period, there were 2,094 total commits. The list of authors who have contributed to the project are shown here on the left side. The bar beside the author's name represents the percentage of commits made by that author. By hovering over the author Adrian, we can see that he is responsible for 798 of the 2,094 commits during the 2-year period. A list of modules with a bar representing the percentage of commits associated with that module is shown here. If we hover over the module DjangoDB, we can see that this module is involved in 356 of the 2,094 commits. Finally, the details of these commits is shown in the commit list, including the name of the author, the date of the commit, an associated comment, and up to 3 files. When the user hovers over an author, the modules and commits associated with that author are highlighted. A similar highlighting occurs when hovering over a module or a commit. There are a number of ways that we can restrict the commits we would like to see. The gray bars at either side of the timeline can be dragged left or right to restrict the scope of time that we are interested in viewing. By clicking on an author, module, or both, the tool will restrict the commits in the events list and the percentage bars to commits associated with this author, module, or both. A red overlay graph in the timeline will also show the number of commits for this author and/or module. Now let's look at 2 examples of how Scrutinize can be used. Let's say you're interested in finding out what a specific author has done. For this example, I'll select Adrian from the author list. The timeline shows when Adrian has made changes. The module list shows that a large amount of changes were made to 7 modules, including Django New Forms, as shown here. By hovering over Django New Forms, we can also tell that of Adrian's 798 commits, 129 affected Django New Forms. We can also select this module to see only those commits that Adrian has made to it. Here we see that the majority of the changes to the New Forms library were made during this period. If you're interested in finding out who has worked on a module and who would likely have experience with it, this can be done by selecting the module as shown here with DjangoDB. We can now tell that the majority of work on this module is performed by Adrian, M. Trednick, Russell M., and Jacob, but Adrian has made the most changes to this module. We can also see at a glance that slash, docs, Django core, and tests tend to be changed at the same time as DjangoDB. By dragging the left slider to the right, we can focus on only recent commits. Looking at the red bars in the author list, we can see that most of the recent changes have been made by M. Trednick. By also filtering on M. Trednick, we can see that his commits also modified slash, Django core, Django shortcuts, docs, and test model tests. By presenting revision information in a visual form, Scrutinize allows developers to investigate changes to a project.